Hello, welcome to Holistic Health Coaching, Awareness Mastery, 13-week program. Today we're going to be talking about stress and more specifically breath, because breath is one of the best ways to de-stress and my favorite way to de-stress and my favorite way to help my clients de-stress. So today's objectives, first I always like to start with a little quote. Taking a deep breath is like sending a love note to the body. So we're going to be talking about breath work. I would be taking you guys through breath work if we're in the program, but for time's sake today, we may or may not do it. We're going to be talking about breathing assessments, sympathetic and parasympathetic responses, and how breath affects our stress, and some more breathing techniques. So this is one of my favorite ways to help my clients de-stress. This is the 4-7-8 breath. So you inhale for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 7, and then you exhale for a count of 8. Take your deep inhale, make sure you're breathing belly first. So 4 seconds in, 7-second hold, 8-second exhale. This is everything I teach. This is balance. If any of these 4 doctors are out of balance, we will be stressed, we will be out of balance, and things will be off. So Dr. Happy is based on our core values: emotional intelligence, mental self-management, dreams, creativity, learning, growth, motive, satiation, and virtues. Dr. Quiet, if we're talking about stress and breath, I think that mostly aligns under Dr. Quiet, but all of these have definitely are a factor. So Dr. Quiet, sleep, getting enough sleep, getting enough self-time and time for introspection, spiritual development, anabolic reset and going in, Dr. Movement, working out or working in, because if we have a really stressed out body, we don't have a lot of stress to give. So working in, like Tai Chi, zoning exercises, breath work, going for a walk is probably going to give you more bang for your buck than expending a lot of energy. And the opposite is true. If you are sedentary and you kind of live more yin and you need a little more yang in your life, maybe exercise is the way to help you de-stress. So finding the balance in all of these, but that's kind of where your balance comes in Dr. Movement. And Dr. Movement is it just helps the body pump, and it is an expression of your body and creates warmth. And Dr. Diet, if we are eating foods that are not our bodies can't tolerate, it's going to create stress responses. So food quality is important. Metabolic typing, knowing what what works best for you. Food timing, food selection, hydration, drinking half your body weight in ounces of water is what I recommend. 64 ounces of water is, I think, the minimum recommendation. This is the questionnaire that I use. So if you are in the red and you are very stressed out, then we will start with really low intensity. This is when the breath work and lifestyle changes and working in is really valuable. And if you're in the yellow, we can work out a little bit more, but we're still really focused on making those lifestyle changes and working in and kind of noticing where in and out of balance you are. And then in the green, it's time to go. We can get after it. And so breathing assessment, when I'm with the client, I like to do a breathing assessment. But for us here in this video, um, so take take a deep breath with one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Notice what moves when you breathe in. You should breathe into the belly first. So it should be 2/3 belly, 1/3 chest. Chest breath is stress breath. So it's a good way to know if your body is stressed. Um, and you can place your hands on your ribs for the second breathing assessment. Do your ribs expand on the inhale? They should, because the diaphragm is pushing them out. Again, if you're not breathing into the belly diaphragm, then you are most likely stressed and creating a stress response in your body every time you breathe. And then the last one, stand up, take a deep breath. This one's easier to do with a partner. Do you get taller when you inhale, or do your shoulders raise? And if your shoulders are raising when you inhale, it's going to cause a lot of tension up in the shoulder, neck, upper back. Could cause some headaches, could cause some TMJ issues. So when you inhale, you should expand through the ribs, through the spine. And if any of those are off, focusing on some deep breath, focusing on breathing into the belly. We'll talk about that more in the next couple slides. So stress and your breath, what happens to your breath when you are stressed? Your breath becomes shallow, muscles tighten, especially in the chest, upper back, shoulders, traps, and neck. Shoulders elevate and increase breathing rate, which increases heart rate and blood pressure. Muscles in the face tense up. Long term, create muscle imbalances, neck and shoulder tension, headaches, burnout, and anxiety. So thoughts, breath. So stress creates chest breathing, creates an elevated breathing rate. Things that can cause stress, arguments, work deadlines, working out hard, financial stress, car accidents, watching the news. That's just a few things. But yeah, this is a vicious cycle. It's really hard to de-stress if you don't have your breathing under control. So this is why, I mean, this presentation is on stress, but to me, breath is your fastest way out of stress, creating a regular breathing practice. So your sympathetic state is catabolic, tissue destruction. Blood flows to muscles away from organs, impairs digestion, detoxification, muscle repair, removal of water, and lowers the immune system. Leads to drugs, pills, addictive foods, addictive behaviors, and sugary drinks, maybe alcohol, or just not good stuff. Parasympathetic state is anabolic, tissue growth, blood flows to organs, improves digestion, detoxification, muscle repair, and immune function, leads to improved sleep, mental and emotional well-being, calm thoughts, etc. All the good things. So fight, flight, or freeze response. These are stress responses that help us survive in the wild. The problem is most of us have excess stress in our lives every day, and the system compensates when we are in our fight, flight, freeze response. The sympathetic nervous system is like the gas pedal in a car. We don't want to always have that gas pedal on. The parasympathetic system is like the brake. Breathing is the fastest way to go from sympathetic to parasympathetic. If we are not able to slow down, many issues will show up. Here's what happens when the sympathetic system is active because we are stressed or frightened. Changes to vision, dry mouth, heart beats faster, adrenal glands release adrenaline and eventually burn out if not slowed down, nausea, hands get cold, thoughts racing, dizzy, lightheadedness, breathing becomes shallow, quick, bladder issues, I'm assuming, because my face is in the way. Arms become sweaty and muscles tense. So we take 24,900 breaths a day. Like I said, breathing and being stressed out could cause digestive issues, biochemical issues, mental, emotional issues like anxiety, depression, and brain fog, and musculoskeletal issues, achy muscles, lactic acid buildup, and just slowed down flow throughout the entire body. Common signs of stress: poor digestion, poor sleep, constipation, anxiety, increased heart rate, night sweats, waking unrest, nervousness, parasite and fungal infections, increased muscle tension, increased risk of infection, colds, illness, and disease. It is very easy to become stressed and enter a sympathetic state. Examples of things that put you in this space is eating foods that you're intolerant to, eating high sugar foods that are processed, known as the SAD crap diet, standard American diet, stressful jobs, coworkers, stressful days, didn't sleep well, increased caffeine intake, negative thoughts, being too busy, family, finances, and relationships. So some simple ways to, again, get out of your stress response. There are many ways, like changing your thought patterns, journaling, um, drinking less caffeine, um, so many ways, exercise, moving daily, drinking water. But I want to talk about changing, Tony Robbins says, change your state, change your life. So you can get out of your stress response when you think about it. That's why I am really focusing on breathing today. Um, so fixing your posture, because it's going to help you take a deeper breath. It's going to help open everything up so you can breathe into the right places. After you fix your posture, it's just a good idea to, maybe once an hour, or whenever you can think about it, just take some deep breaths into your belly. Breathe into your belly first and then your chest. That's a full deep breath. Stop. Take 3 to 12 deep breaths. State the truth. The truth is, flipping around your negative thought patterns. And that's, I guess, a lesson for another day. But, if we're stressed out and we're thinking I'm not good enough, flipping that around, I am good enough, or I'm doing my best today, is another great truth that'll help us de-stress. That basically comes from Loving What Is, the book Loving What Is by Byron Katie. But one great exercise that I like to do with clients is have them tie a string around their belly in the morning, and just have it there, not super tight, but tight enough that it stays. And then just breathe into, and then let that belly expand. Every time you take a breath, that string should get tighter. I love the Wim Hof breathing. I use it with my clients as a introduction to breath work. So it's like 30 to 40 deep breaths, and then you take your breath hold. So you're charging breath, and then you exhale, breathe out for, I don't know, as long as you can. You start with 30 seconds, go 60. You work your way up to 3 minutes. And then inhale when you need to, hold for 15 seconds, and then start over for 2, 3, or 4 rounds. Breathing for sleep issues. So when you lie down for bed, take 10 deep breaths, count to 10. When you get to 10, start the count over. And just do that until you kind of drop into that parasympathetic state. You can also do the 4-7-8 breath or box breathing. 4 seconds in, 4-second hold, 4-second out, 4-second hold. All those are great ways to help you go to sleep. I was also told when I was having sleep issues that doodling before night, just drawing, kind of puts us in a parasympathetic state. So that can also be something you try out too. Breath for digestion. If you have digestive issues, take a few deep breaths before eating to basically give the organs a massage and prep the organs for action. If you really want to go for it, take 10 to 15 deep breaths right before you eat. And again, we want to move our body from a sympathetic state to a parasympathetic state, because when we're stressed out and we're in that sympathetic state, it's really hard for our body to digest. Our body's like fight or flight systems are on, and it's in survival mode, and the body wants to survive, and that's its only goal. So if we're stressed out because of anything, it's going to be, our digestion is going to be off. Also, eating in a really calm, peaceful environment. So don't watch a horror movie while you're eating. Try not to have an argument when you're eating. Make it a happy, enjoyable place. And also sitting down and relaxing and enjoying your food is important for digestion, and your body will be able to intake the food a little bit easier. And just chilling out while you eat. Notice how your digestion has changed. So this is a breathing questionnaire. This is a Nijmegen breathing questionnaire. So if you have, if you have a score of 23 or higher out of 64, is a diagnosis that there is a dysfunctional breathing pattern. It's 90% effective at correctly identifying dysfunctional breathing patterns. So maybe screenshot this or pause the video and just mark it down and see where you're at. And if you have a dysfunctional breathing pattern, it's a good idea to start doing some of the things that I suggested here. Maybe doing some Wim Hof every day, or 4-7-8, or box breathing, or Tai Chi or Qigong. All those things are going to help you de-stress. And journaling, meditating, finding what works best for you, because that is the number one thing. Talking about breath, but there's a lot of tools. I love Qigong. I love breath work. Breath work has changed my life completely. So that's why I'm here talking about it right now when it comes to stress. The focus today is on stress, but to me, breath is unbeatable when it comes to stress reduction. So the questionnaires and the 4 doctors came from How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy by Paul Chek. Has some great resources on his website. Breathing techniques and just the science of breathing. James Nestor's Breath. It's this cool yellow book. Great book, great resource. Those are 2 books that I always recommend my clients read when we start our coaching together. And that is my presentation on breath and stress. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you get something out of it. And if you haven't already, take some deep breaths, try one of these exercises out, and enjoy.